Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in this fine country, and welcome to our presentation today on Amtrak Vacations, our part one of our national park series on one of our most popular destinations out there. That's right, we're visiting Glacier National Park today. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nick Bonnell, and I am one of our business development executives with Amtrak Vacations. A little bit about myself. I have been with Amtrak Vacations now for just about 6 years. Very exciting times over here. I myself love rail travel. I've done quite a bit extensively throughout the United States, throughout Canada, and throughout Europe. So it's something I'm very passionate about, and I'm very excited to bring you all of this wonderful information today. Definitely stay tuned toward the end of the presentation, as one lucky person will win a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift card. So definitely something to look forward to, everyone. And also, before we hop into it, don't forget to download the handout where that top arrow is pointing. Got some really great information on there that I'm going to cover in just a minute. As well as if you have any questions at all throughout today's presentation, do not be a stranger. Enter those questions where that second arrow is pointing, and I will be more than happy to answer any and all questions towards the end of the presentation today. Now, I'm very excited to share this next bit of information for you, as it is brand new for us. That's right, we started today at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's right, we started our pre-Black Friday sale. It is fantastic. Essentially, if you want to book a package that's 6 to 8 nights long, you will automatically save yourselves $200 per couple right off the cost of the trip. Or if you book a package that's 9 nights or longer, you automatically save $500 per couple. So keep this in mind. This promotion is good until next Saturday, November 17th. And I can tell you, you won't want to miss your chance with this. The phones have been ringing off the hook here. And now is your chance to get the experience the rail firsthand and take full advantage of this wonderful promotion. So let's hop right into it and ask ourselves, why Amtrak Vacations? Well, there's several reasons for Amtrak Vacations. First and foremost, traveling the rail is a bucket list experience. In fact, we surveyed all of our travelers last year as to why they chose traveling with Amtrak and Amtrak Vacations, and the number one consensus answer we kept seeing was that it was a bucket list trip. If you think about it, your members and clients and all of you all have taken you all have done the ocean cruises. You all have done those escorted tours through Europe and through South America and Asia. You've gone to Walt Disney World. You've done the all-inclusives through Mexico and the Caribbean. You've now conquered river cruising, and you're looking for that next adventure. Something fun, something different, something unique. The rail can satisfy each and every single one of those needs. There's room to roam. Take what you know about being cooped up in an airplane for hours on end, or in a motor coach where you can't get up and move around at all. With Amtrak, it's the exact opposite. You're actually encouraged to freely move amongst the train. Get up, visit the cafe car, visit the dining car, or visit my personal favorite, the observation car. There's less hassle. There's none of this business about checking in 24 hours ahead of time or showing up 45 minutes or showing up 2 to 3 hours before your departure. No, no. With Amtrak, how does 45 minutes to an hour sound? I can tell you that is the average time people will typically show up prior to the Amtrak departure, truly making it as hassle-free and as worry-free as possible for you. There's city-to-city service. Now, one thing I absolutely dislike are those long airport transfers. Sometimes you fly into a place and lo and behold, you have up to an hour-long drive to get you to where you need to be. Well, with Amtrak, there's no need for that, as we typically go from downtown to downtown. Look at New York Penn Station, for example. It's right in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. Look at Chicago Union Stations, right in the heart of downtown Chicago. Or look at Los Angeles Union Station. It's right in the heart of downtown LA. We can get you to where you want to be right off your bat, so you can start your sightseeing off on the right foot. Satisfy your hunger. Now, this will touch base on just a little bit later. I just want you all to know that whenever you do upgrade to the sleeping accommodations, meals on the train are automatically included, and you won't want to miss out on that, as the food on Amtrak is fantastic. And lastly, flexibility. One of the best parts about our vacation packages is they really have the ability to travel on a daily basis. With just the exception of a couple of our seasonal national parks, almost every single package we offer operates daily, allowing you to travel when you want to travel. Now, I love showing this map because it really amazes me at how extensive Amtrak's system really is. In fact, Amtrak services 46 out of the 48 continental states here in the US, with the exceptions of South Dakota and Wyoming. And last year, Amtrak set their ridership record with over 32.5 million passengers. To put that into perspective, if Amtrak was an airline, Amtrak would have been the sixth most flown airline in the world. It's very exciting and definitely goes to show you that rail travel is in demand, and there's no time but now for you to experience it firsthand. And you might ask yourself, well, where can I start my vacation package? Well, the beauty of it is you can start your vacation package at any of the 500 Amtrak stations throughout the United States or Canada. Or alternatively, you can fly to your start destination or fly home from your end destination. It is completely up to you. And these trips can start at any of the stations here in the United States or Canada. Now, one of the best parts about traveling by rail is there's no middle seat on board the train, and you can enjoy views that most travelers will never see. Think about it. When you're in an airplane, all you're seeing is clouds, and clouds are going to look the same no matter where you go to in the world from an airplane. If you drive, you're not going to be seeing much scenery because you're going to be on the interstate. So keep this in mind. Amtrak allows you to see scenery and landscapes that you might have never seen before or might not be able to see from the skies or from the interstate. One of the best parts about taking the train is you could skip the traffic and take the train. And I mean, I don't even want to look at this picture because it just gives me a headache. I strongly dislike traffic, and I know you all probably do too. Well, with Amtrak, we have a saying we like to use around here. Why not take the road less traveled? That road being Amtrak. All you have to do is kick back, relax, and let us do the driving for you. Keep this in mind too. Do you not like to fly? Well, the perfect solution. This is a really wonderful way for those that don't like to fly that they can get around. So I can tell you, this speaks volumes to me. My sister does not fly at all, and she has to rely on Amtrak to take her vacation. So keep this in mind. If you don't fly, Amtrak really is the best way to get around to all the different sites. Now, once again, where can I start my rail vacation? At any of the 500 Amtrak stations throughout the United States or Canada. In fact, there's bound to be an Amtrak station right by your hometown, and guess what? You could start the vacation package right from that station. Any of our packages can be customized and tailor-made to start where you want to start from. Now, keep in mind, all of the trips that we offer have the ability to be customized. And what exactly does that mean? Well, a lot of our clients like to take the trips. Maybe you want to add nights, remove nights. Maybe you want to add a destination or remove a destination. Maybe you want to build a package from the ground up. Maybe you want to combine a couple packages. Well, keep that in mind. This is a prime example. Take, for instance, you take our Rails to the Grand Canyon package, which is one of our most popular packages for the Grand Canyon. Maybe you want to add a few extra nights up at the El Tovar Hotel, which is one of the best lodges up at the Grand Canyon South Rim. And maybe after that, maybe you want to add on a couple nights in Los Angeles because you figure you're out in that area. Maybe maybe you just want to spend a few nights in Los Angeles and do some sightseeing in that area. Well, guess what, folks? We can do that. Or another really popular one, since we're going to talk about Glacier National Park, is take our Glacier National Park Express package, which is Chicago, Glacier Park, and Seattle. The beauty of this, what if you were to add the Seattle, after you stay in Seattle, maybe add on a trip to Vancouver and Victoria, since you're up in that area, and those two are two of the best cities in all of Canada. So you can pay those a visit and really maximize your time and your vacation package. So keep all of this customization in mind as we go on to, we're going to discuss what we all came here for today, Glacier National Park. Now, Glacier Park is our most popular seasonal national park that we have to offer. And the reason why it's so seasonal is because their season only ranges from mid-June to mid-September. And the reason for this is simply, yes, it is in northern Montana, which, yes, it does snow about 9 months of the year up there. So keep this in mind. Glacier National Park's time to shine is mid-June to mid-September. Now I'm going to show you a map of Glacier National Park, which is really, really amazing. Take a look at this. Glacier National Park actually encompasses over 1 million square acres. How amazing is that? It's going to really, really giant national park. It actually crosses over into Canada, so it takes place in it's situated in 2 countries, and it's situated through 2 mountain chains. And it has several lodges throughout the park as well, but the most popular one that there is the Glacier Park Lodge. Now, this is the main property we work with. It's the oldest and most historic of the Glacier Park Railroad hotels. It's really amazing, and the best part is the Glacier Park Lodge is only situated 209 steps away from the Glacier Park train station. So as soon as you step out of the train station, the lodge is right there. But perhaps you are tired, or maybe you do have a bit of luggage. Not to worry, they do run a little golf cart tram from front door to front door. The Glacier Park Lodge is the main property we work with in Glacier. Now, maybe you're a bit more of a luxurious traveler, Not to worry, we got your back. We can stay at the Grouse Mountain Lodge. Now, the Grouse Mountain Lodge is located in the small ski village of Whitefish, Montana, which is on the far western part of Glacier National Park. The Grouse Mountain Lodge is fantastic. It's more of a 4.5-star property. So if you're a bit of a luxury traveler, and still want to experience the national parks, this is the property for you. It has some really great dining in the hotel. It has an 18-hole golf course. It has a full spa. And Whitefish is a really neat little town in itself. There's shops, there's dining, and there's things to do right in Whitefish. And of course, the last property we work with is the Manny Glacier Hotel. Now, the Manny Glacier Hotel is a little bit deeper in the park from the Glacier Park Lodge, and it's definitely a little bit smaller. It's an amazing property. It was actually built in 1914. And the best part about it, it was also built by the Great Northern Railway as well. And this hotel was actually penned to be the gem of the West. And it was actually originally a destination resort that was to promote the Glacier Park area as the American Alps. So the hotel is actually designed as a Swiss chalet style hotel, which is really beautiful. In fact, let's take a look at what the inside looks like. See the different styles of the rooms. Now, if you see on the bottom right, that is Swift Current Lake, which the hotel literally sits on the side of Swift Current Lake and overlooks the lake, and it offers some really premier views. And it's just really fantastic property, and yeah, it's really, really peaceful and really serene there. Now, while you're up in Glacier National Park, we offer a really fantastic tour. It's our Two Medicine Valley Boat Cruise, which is a boat ride on Two Medicine Lake, as seen right on your screen. It's a really amazing little boat ride that we offer, and the cool thing about it is, before or after the boat ride, it offers an optional hike. So you can do a hike before or after in the surrounding areas. So with all of that said, everyone, let's hop into some of our top vacation packages that we have to offer for Glacier National Park. And the first one we're going to go over, of course, is our most popular one. This is our Glacier National Park Express. Really amazing package. This has been one of our top Glacier Park itineraries for the past 6 years. It offers mountain views, lakes, and pinewood forests all the way along the Empire Builder train. And I can tell you, this train ride is amazing. So you'll start off as you go from Chicago. You'll do 2 nights in a downtown Chicago hotel, and while you're in Chicago, you will have the Shoreline Sightseeing Architecture Cruise, which is the boat ride that'll bring us down the river in Chicago, and it highlights a lot of the famous buildings and skyscrapers. In fact, Chicago is the birthplace of the modern skyscraper, and this boat ride gives you the ability to see all of those famous buildings. Once our fun in Chicago is all said and done, we then hop aboard the Empire Builder, and we do an overnight train as we go up through Wisconsin, up through the Lakes region of Minnesota, doing it overnight through the prairies and plains of North Dakota, leading us into Big Sky Country of Montana, where we arrive the next afternoon into Glacier National Park. When we get into Glacier National Park, we're going to do 3 nights at the Glacier Park Lodge. And while we're in Glacier Park, we are going to have 2 tours. First, we're going to have that Two Medicine Valley Boat Cruise, of course. And the second tour we're going to get is the Big Sky Circle Tour, which is the main tour of the park. It's a full-day tour that utilizes the Going to the Sun Road, which is the main stretch of highway that runs right through the middle of Glacier. This tour is definitely the most comprehensive that the park has. It's a really amazing, amazing sightseeing tour. And the really neat thing about it, it actually utilizes these these vehicles called the Red Jammer buses. Now, they are extended out World War II era open top Jeeps, and they are absolutely fantastic, as they are really the best way to see the national park. From Glacier National Park, we will then do an overnight train on board the Empire Builder as we go through the rest of Montana, through a little bit of Idaho, crossing over the Columbia River, leading us into Seattle, Washington, where we arrive the following morning. And in Seattle, we're going to do 2 nights in a downtown Seattle hotel. And while we're in Seattle, we will have admission tickets to the Space Needle, Seattle's most iconic landmark, as seen on the top right, as well as the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. Now, for those that aren't familiar with Chihuly, Dale Chihuly is this really amazing artist that makes these beautiful glass sculptures that look like flowers. This is his headquarters museum, and the best part is it's situated right at the foot of the Space Needle. So this package right here, everyone, is 10 days, 9 nights. We get the Architecture Cruise of Chicago. We get the 2 tours in Glacier Park, the Big Sky Circle Tour and the Two Medicine Valley Boat Cruise. We get and while we're in Seattle, we get admission to the Space Needle and the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. One way on Amtrak and coach accommodations, 7 nights hotel, 2 nights on board the train, and yes, those 2 nights on the train are in coach accommodations, which we can absolutely upgrade to the sleepers, where we'll get a private with beds, shower access, and meals on the train included. Now, maybe you like the idea of going to Glacier National Park, but we might not necessarily want to go to Chicago or Seattle. We'll keep it in mind, everyone. We got our Glacier National Park round trip from Chicago. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to start from Chicago. Now, the reason why you do see a lot of these trips do start and end in Chicago is simply because it is Chicago's hub, is Amtrak's hub station. Chicago is Amtrak's hub. So if you are coming from outside of Chicago, maybe you're coming from the East Coast or the West Coast or from the South, not to worry. We can absolutely do this for you. Not a problem. So on this, we'll do an overnight train from Chicago to Glacier National Park on the Empire Builder. When we arrive into Glacier National Park, we'll do the 3 nights at the Glacier Park Lodge, and we'll still have those 2 tours included. And then from Glacier Park, we do the overnight train back to Chicago on the Empire Builder. This trip is 6 days, 5 nights. We get 3 nights hotel, 2 nights on board the train, and yes, those 2 nights on the train are in coach accommodations. We get the 2 tours included, the Big Sky Circle Tour and the 2 Medicine Valley Boat Cruise, and we also get 1 dinner at the Glacier Park Lodge. Now, I will say once again, this is in coach seating, which we can absolutely upgrade to the sleepers. Once again, so keep that in mind. Now, I'm very excited to share this next package with you, as it is one of our brand new trips that we launched for this past year, and it's incredibly popular. That's right, we're looking at our Glacier National Park and Canadian Rockies by rail. I love this because you get to experience the train and national parks in 2 different countries on both sides of the border. So this one, we do an overnight train from Chicago to Glacier National Park on board the Empire Builder. When we get into Glacier National Park, we'll do 2 nights at the Glacier Park Lodge, and we will get the 2 tours still, the Big Sky Circle Tour and the 2 Medicine Valley Boat Cruise. From Glacier Park, we then do an overnight train on the Empire Builder from Glacier to Seattle, where we arrive the following morning. And in Seattle, we're going to switch right over to the Cascades, which is the most scenic regional train that Amtrak has to offer. And we're going to take that from Seattle up to Vancouver, BC. When we arrive in Vancouver, we're going to do 2 nights in a downtown Vancouver hotel. And while we're in Vancouver, we are going to have a couple different things included. First and foremost, we are going to get a multi-day hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour of Vancouver, which will take us around the city on a big loop. And we can get off and on as we please at all the different sites and attractions that Vancouver has to offer. We'll also get admission to the Vancouver Lookout, which is the observation level atop Harbor Center Tower. It's actually the tallest building in the city of Vancouver. Now, once our fun in Vancouver is all said and done, we will then hop aboard the Via Rail Canadian train, which is the Cross Canada train. And we're going to do an overnight train from Vancouver to Jasper, where we arrive the following afternoon. And in Jasper, we are going to do a couple different things. We're going to have the Icefields Parkway Tour. We're going to do 2 nights in Jasper. We get the Columbia Icefields Parkway Tour, which will do a stopover at the Columbia Icefields. And you actually get an opportunity to go on board one of those big ice exploring vehicles and actually get the opportunity to step foot onto the glacier, which is really neat. From Jasper, we then go down to Banff, and we'll do 2 nights in a centrally located lodge right in Banff. And while we're in Banff, we get admission to the Glacier Skywalk and Discovery Center, which will take the gondolas up into Sulphur Mountain. You'll be able to experience the best that Banff has to offer from the mountain perspective. We'll also get the Mountains, Lakes, and Waterfalls tour, which is a full-day tour that utilizes and visits some of the famous mountains, lakes, and waterfalls of the region. In fact, you'll actually be able to, the real highlight for that is you'll actually be able to see Lake Louise on there, which is really fantastic. Once our fun in Banff is all said and done, we will then hop aboard transfer and bring you down to Calgary, where you'll do 1 night in Calgary in a downtown Calgary hotel. And then from there, most people will generally fly home. So this trip is 11 days, 10 nights. We get the 2 tours in Glacier Park, the Big Sky Circle Tour and the 2 Medicine Valley Boat Cruise. We get a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour of Vancouver, as well as admission to the Vancouver Lookout. We get the Columbia Icefields Parkway excursion while we're in Banff, or while we're in Jasper, rather. Then while we're in Banff, we get the admission to the Glacier Skywalk and Discovery Center, as well as the sightseeing tour of the mountains, lakes, and waterfalls. 7 nights hotel, 2 nights on board Amtrak, 1 night upon Via. And that 1 night, and all the overnights on the train, much like Amtrak, the 1 night on Via is in coach accommodations, which we can absolutely upgrade once again to the sleepers, where we'll get the private room with beds, shower access, and meals on the train included. And I will say the cabins on Via are awesome, where they actually have a private toilet and sink in room as well. So let's pay a visit. Maybe you want to do see as much as you want in the United States, where you can experience some of the best national parks, but only some of the most scenic routes on board Amtrak as well. Well, guess what, folks? We got our grand national parks with Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and Glacier National Park. It's a really magnificent package and it's incredibly popular where you visit some of the most scenic and utilize some of the most scenic routes on board the Amtrak system, and B, you also visit some of the most iconic national parks here in the United States. So this trip, we start off doing an overnight train from Chicago to Williams, Arizona on board the on board the Southwest Chief. We arrive into Williams, Arizona the following evening. And when we arrive into Williams, we'll do one night in Williams at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. The next morning, we'll get up, we'll catch the Grand Canyon Railway, which is the antique steam train that will take you from Williams, Arizona up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Now, I love this journey because it adds another train experience to a train vacation. So not only do you get the Amtrak experience, but you get that classic antique steam train experience as well. And there's a reason why this train has been operational for over 110 years. It passes through the largest ponderosa forest in the state of Arizona. Once we take the train from Williams up to the South Rim, we get up to the South Rim and we do one night up at the South Rim in one of the villages, at one of the lodges in the Grand Canyon Village. And while we're up there as well, we also get a full day guided sightseeing tour of the South Rim, which is really fantastic. It will highlight a lot of the key sites that the South Rim has to offer. We'll spend one night up in one of the lodges. After our night in the South Rim is all said and done, we will then take the Grand Canyon Railway back down to Williams, where we then do an overnight train on board the Amtrak Southwest Chief to Los Angeles, where we arrive the following morning. And when we get into Los Angeles, we are going to then switch right over to the Amtrak Coast Starlight. Now, the Amtrak Coast Starlight is the most scenic train that Amtrak has to offer. In fact, it's been voted the most scenic train in North America the past 2 years. And we're going to do, or past 3 years rather, we're going to do some day travel. We leave out of Los Angeles that morning and we arrive into San Francisco, California later that evening. And while we're in San Francisco, we will do 2 nights in a downtown San Francisco hotel. Now, on the full day that you have, the full free day, you'll do a guided sightseeing tour of Yosemite National Park. Now, you won't have to worry about getting yourselves to and from the park. The tour will pick you up, drive you up to the park, and will get a full day comprehensive tour of the Yosemite Valley. The next day, during the daytime, you'll have some time to explore San Francisco, where you do get a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. From San Francisco, after our hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, we will then board an evening train, an overnight train, continuing the Coast Starlight north, where we arrive the following morning, or evening rather, into Seattle, Washington. And when we get into Seattle, we will do 2 nights or we'll do 1 night in Seattle, right in downtown Seattle. And while we're there, we get admission to the Space Needle. From Seattle, we then the next day will do the overnight train from Seattle on the Empire Builder to Glacier National Park, where we arrive the following morning. And in Glacier National Park, we're going to do 3 nights at the Glacier Park Lodge. And while we're there, we get the 2 Medicine Valley boat cruise and the Big Sky Circle Tour. And then from Glacier, we then do the overnight train back on the Empire Builder, back to Chicago. So this trip, everybody, 14 days, 13 nights. We get round trip service and coach accommodations on board the Grand Canyon Railway. We get the Motor Coach Freedom Tour of the South Rim. We get the sightseeing tour of Yosemite National Park out of San Francisco, along with a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. And while we're in Seattle, we get admission to the Space Needle. And then in Glacier Park, we get the Big Sky Circle Tour and the 2 Medicine Valley boat cruise. Round trip Amtrak and coach accommodations, 8 nights hotel, 5 nights on the train. And yes, those 5 nights on the train are in coach accommodations. Once again, everybody, we can upgrade that to the sleepers. We'll get a private room with beds, shower access, and meals on the train included. And keep in mind, everyone, in a lot of the destinations we work with, you can choose the hotels that work best for your needs. Whether it be we work from hotels from 3 to 5 stars in all of the destinations that we work with. Now, I know I've been mentioning a lot about the destinations in Glacier Park and the different packages, but what about the train experience in itself? So let's go over that. Well, take what you know about the airlines and picture the exact opposite, because packing for the train is quite amazing. In fact, Amtrak has one of the most generous luggage policies in the travel industry. Each passenger is allowed 2 pieces of carry-on luggage up to 50 pounds each bag, 2 pieces of check-in luggage up to 50 pounds each bag, as well as a personal item. So figure along the lines of a backpack, briefcase, pocketbook, purse, or even a small duffel bag. And the neat thing is, it can all be checked in up to 45 minutes prior to your departure, truly making it as hassle-free and as rush-free as possible for you. It's not like the airlines where you got to be there hours in advance and then you can't check it. No, it's not like that at all. With Amtrak, you're allowed up to 45 minutes prior. Good luck finding that on the airlines. I think most airlines at this point are charging up to $45 or $25 for even one check bags. Once again, this is standard on board the train. Now, I know I've been mentioning a lot about coach and sleepers and things of the sorts like that, so let's go over that. And the first thing we're going to cover is coach seating, which, as you can see, is a pretty standard seat on board the train. But take what you know about airplane seating and picture the exact opposite, because the seating on coach is actually comfortable, unlike an airplane. The seats themselves are typically double the size of your standard airplane seat. They recline at 45-degree angle, and they also have a leg rest as well. And the leg room is uncomparable. In fact, last year I did a train journey. With one of my colleagues who's 6'6". He could fully stretch his legs out and still have room to spare. Good luck finding that on an airline, and if you do, you're going to be paying quite the premium on that. This is standard, once again, on Amtrak. Now, coach seating is great. However, meals are not included, and neither is shower access. If you're doing a night or more on board the train, you're probably going to want to eat. You're probably going to want to take a shower. So where do we go from there? That's right, we upgrade to the roomettes. The roomettes are by far the most popular type of sleeping accommodation on board the train. During the day, it's two big seats that face each other with a big picture window in between and a fold-out table. At night, the two seats convert to the lower bed, and right above where this lady's head is, the top bed pulls down. Now, one thing I do want to make note with the roomettes, meals are absolutely included. However, the bathrooms and showers are located down the hall. And yes, they are private but shared. So yes, you will be sharing them with the rest of the people that have roomette accommodations in the same car. But they're private. Once you're in there, you're in there. There's a lock on the door. It's not like a college dormitory where people are coming in and out. And the neat thing is it's a full-size bathroom with a full-size shower. Now you might ask, Nick, this sounds fantastic, but is there a way I can get my own private toilet, sink, and shower in room? By all means, there is. Yes, we can upgrade you to the bedrooms. Now the bedrooms are a little bit bigger than the roomettes, and it's a bit of a different setup. So during the day, it's more of a sofa style seating, like where that gentleman is sitting with an extra captain's chair as well, where the lady is sitting. At night, that sofa style seating converts to the lower bed, and right above where this gentleman's head is the top bed. Now, with the bedrooms, you will have the ability to have a private toilet, sink, and shower in room for your use and your use alone when you have the bedroom accommodations. Now, I know I've been mentioning a lot about whenever you upgrade to sleepers, you get your meals included and things of the sorts like that, but what exactly does this all mean? So once again, we're going to pick on the airlines. Picture the exact opposite of what you get on an airline, and you'll get that on a train, because the food on Amtrak is actually quite nice. And in fact, you would be amazed at the quality of meals that are served on board the train. I'm talking about for breakfast, for example, there's pancakes or waffles, bacon and eggs, omelets. For lunch, there's juicy cheeseburgers, grilled chicken salads, and pasta dishes. For dinner, there's fish, there's chicken, and of course, there's Amtrak's main dish, the Amtrak signature steak, which you can see right on your screen. And I can tell you firsthand, I've had this 2 nights in a row once and absolutely loved it, and I know you all will too. And the whole process with dining on board the train is really lovely. As soon as you board the train, the dining car attendant will come by, set up reservation times that you want to eat your meals. When it's time to eat, you head down to the dining car, take a seat in one of these big comfortable booths with a white linen tablecloth layout, and you get to order off a menu and from a server like you would at a restaurant. So if you really think about it, Amtrak isn't just transportation, but it's a restaurant on wheels, a hotel on wheels, and sightseeing on wheels, all rolled up into one amazing experience. And we've barely scratched the surface of really what we could have to offer to all of you. If you pay a visit to our website at amtrakvacations.com, it'll bring you here to our main page. From here, there's a couple different ways you can navigate through and see all of the different packages we have to offer. First off, if you can search, you can hover over where that red arrow is pointing, and that'll bring you to the Destinations tab. From there, you can then be able to navigate through by destination and see all of the packages we have to offer. Or you can utilize this middle section, which you could search by destination, by specific train routes, by top stations, as well as your geographic region. And while you're on our website, please feel free to utilize the trip planning section where this red arrow is pointing, as it's going to have a lot of valuable information for you all, whether it be for meals and dining, luggage, identification, accessibility, or the onboard the train experience. In fact, that's the best area on board there, as well as the onboard the train experience. The cool thing is you can go on there and you can actually get first-person perspectives and 360-degree views of every single room and car on board the Amtrak trains, really giving you the first-person perspective. Now, how do you book with us? Well, you can give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. One of our fantastic vacations consultants will be more than happy to help you set that up. You can book through the website at amtrakvacations.com, or what I always recommend and what I always do, give a call or pay a visit to your local travel agent. I love my local travel agent, and I utilize my travel agent for almost everything that I do for travel. I've been in the travel industry for almost 10 years, and I still utilize my local travel agent, as they're really one of the best resources out there, and they will always be able to help you plan your dream rail vacation. It's really amazing. And keep in mind too, everyone, we have some really great everyday discounts. If you're traveling with children ages 2 to 12, the children get a 50% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak Vacations package. If you're a senior traveler age 65 and over, you get a 10% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak Vacations package. And lastly, if you're active duty military, you, your spouse, and your dependents get a 10% discount off the rail portion of a package, just as a thank you for your service. And keep in mind too, everybody, we got that pre-Black Friday sale going on right now. If you book any package for 2019, if you book a package that's 6 to 8 nights long, you automatically get yourself $200 off the price right off the top per couple. Or if you do a package that's 9 nights or longer, you automatically get $500 right off the top per couple. So keep that in mind. Before we wrap it up for today, I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for joining. But don't forget to download the handout right here, as it will have a lot of the great valuable information that we have going on with that pre-Black Friday sale. As well, if you have any questions, I've seen a ton coming through. Please feel free to input those questions into the questions box, and I will be more than happy to answer any of those questions. But before I do so, I have to name a winner of a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift card. Today's lucky winner of an Amtrak Vacations gift card is going to be, drum roll, Francis Hale. Congratulations, Francis. Well deserved. And for everyone, definitely keep those questions coming. I'm going to answer those in just a moment. But before I do so, I just want to thank you for joining me today. It's really appreciated. And yeah, thank you so much. So I'm going to hop right into the questions before we wrap it up for today. So I have a question here from Pamela asking, is the only handout the Black Friday PDF? Yes, the pre-Black Friday sale is the only handout that should be attached to this. Francis, what activities are available in East Glacier? Well, we have the Big Sky Circle Tour and the 2 Medicine Valley Boat Cruise, which are included in the package. Now, I can tell you National Park Services also do run tours up there. So if you do want to maybe do like a hiking tour or a wildlife observation or anything of the sorts like that, you can utilize that through National Park Services. Let's see, Shannon. Shannon, I've got your question. On the Glacier Park and Canadian Rockies itinerary, can you do round trip Glacier Park? I live in Montana. You can. It's really tricky, though, because there's no connection from Calgary or Banff down to Montana. So you would have to go all the way back up to Jasper and then all the way kind of retracing your steps back to Vancouver through Seattle and back to Glacier. But it is possible. You can definitely do that. Let's see, Francis, what percentage of the trips to and from Seattle arrive on time? Actually, the trains to and from Seattle have been arriving quite on time, quite a bit lately. It's actually been really amazing because the train schedules have been really efficient, which has been excellent. So the new Empire Builder schedule has been, for the most part, on time generally. Laura, is there any way to see Mount Rushmore on the way to Glacier National Park? Not really, because the South Dakota is actually one of the only states that Amtrak does not pass through. If you did want to get like a rental car in, say, North Dakota and then drive down, we could actually help set up the package for you with a rental car and with hotel in Sioux City, as well as Rapid Falls, Rapid City, yeah, that's there as well. So we can help set that up. We do have packages from Mount Rushmore. It's just a self-driving trip, but you can do that. A lot of people will do Mount Rushmore as if they go to, like, say like Denver or places like that, because it's a shorter train or drive. Laura, do you offer Glacier National Park packages in May? Unfortunately not. They usually start up second week in June. Francis, from Seattle, can luggage be checked to Glacier? I don't believe so, actually, because I don't think Glacier Park has checked luggage service, so it would have to be all carry-on service, unfortunately. But luckily, you're allowed 2 pieces of carry-on luggage, up to 50 pounds each bag per person. Andriette, Would a AAA agent be able to handle our reservation? Yes, absolutely. A AAA, any local travel agent will be more than happy to help you book your reservation. But AAA is a wonderful resource as well, so you can utilize them. Let's see. Are there discounts for solo travelers? Unfortunately, no. There's no. There's not. Aside from like say for like this promotion, it's $100 and $250. But not as far as like specials for being a solo traveler. Unfortunately. Let's see, Robert. How do you know what the upgrade to the roomette costs? Honestly, it can vary. The cost for roommettes can vary. I've seen it be anywhere from say 150 per person upgrade more to even up to $400 per person per upgrade more. So I've definitely seen it. It can range. It's honestly best to book your rail travel as far in advance as possible because you can guarantee yourself the lowest rate and the availability. Dolores, do you have any free time in Glacier National Park? You have a little bit. If you did want to guarantee absolutely like having like a day or so to do some of the sightseeing that they have up there, or maybe do some hiking, keep in mind you can modify and customize any of these trips. So if you want to add a night or two extra to Glacier Park and maybe do some sightseeing, by all means do so. Tons of people will utilize that. Any more questions, anyone? These are some really great questions. Any questions at all? So it looks like we might be out of questions today. So keep it if you do have any questions at all, and you maybe later down the line, or if you want to look into any of these options or book any of these, please call that number right on your screen. It would be much appreciated if you want to go ahead and get that, and definitely want to take advantage of that sale. If you do want to go ahead and book, definitely keep that in mind. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's been really it's much appreciated that you took time out of your busy days to learn a little bit about what we have going on with our packages in Glacier National Park. We actually do these presentations every 2 weeks, so we will be back around to actually I don't think we're actually going to be no, will we? Yes, we will be around 2 weeks from today. So definitely keep these in mind. It will be another wonderful topic. In the meantime, everyone, I hope you all take care. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you all and talk to you all real soon. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.